Live. Ricardo TV. Yes, I'm late, so sue me. What do you want? What do you want from me? Joshua Little John. What's good, Kurt? Salute. Fernando Rivera. What's up, brother? Let's go. Look, love is going to love, hate is going to hate, and everybody else is going to participate by default. People will get with it. It's called acceptance. It's called acceptance. Roy Murphy in the house. Salute to the Murphy clan. That's family of that, my man. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So, I think it was like, is the enemy of my enemy my friend or my enemy? No, it's your enemy. See, Tyson the Gypsy King Fury had everyone hoping and wishing that he had some type of gag. He had a gag order. Now, that was a gag order. That was true. But he had people thinking that AJ and Fury's fight was contingent. You know what I mean? They had good reason, though. Mr. Hayward, counterpunch to you, sir. Because if you can't talk about certain things, obviously it's like, yo, what's the deal? You know? But this came down to money. Okay, because they know that money in far as well as Joshua. Joshua brings the money. But Leo, appreciate you, brother. Thank you. It's a fucking high and tight, right? They still fucked it up. Went too high in the sky. M. Rashid. Hi, Kurt. Do you really trust what Fury says? He seems to always contradicts everything he says. M. Rashid, here's the deal. It's not basically what he says. It's what somebody told him. Yeah, Roy Murphy. Frank Warren is quiet, ain't it? So is Bob Arum. You haven't heard shit from any of them. Barry Cootie. Hey, Kurt. Hope you're well. LDBC gone silent. I haven't heard from them all day. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't know. But I mean, when the problem is when you decide to follow a fighter instead of the sport itself, it's a problem. See, here's the thing. Here's the difference between boxing and like team sports like NFL, NBA, you know, et cetera, et cetera. Not tennis, because tennis is like boxing. You know, a lot of people fall in love with fighters. A lot of people fall in love with the story of fighters. So I could get how people, you know, wanted Deontay Wilder to get that fight because they followed the story of Wilder. They knew, okay, well, he signed a contract with Tyson Fury for a third fight. Had he lost, so he did lose. And everything else was just a pacifier, was just a cushion for what was to come. And the cushion, what was to come was the fight wasn't going to happen. See, what made Team Wilder nervous was the fact that Tyson Fury already had agreed to fight Anthony Joshua, like, what was it, this time last year? You know, even though nothing was signed, they just agreed that was big news. But that was when Tyson Fury was with his good old buddy Daniel Kinahan. And then, you know, a lot of shit came out about Daniel Kinahan. And you don't really hear from him too much, do you? Now, see, had he still been around, Eddie Hearn would have had someone to work with, to talk to. Because, shit, Bob Arum and Frank Warren, they're sitting back looking like some old amateurs at this point, right? So I think that's what made them nervous, but Wilder still stayed quiet until Fury decided to leave and fly the coop. And, you know, his thing is he didn't want to fight, you know, this year or earlier this year, which he didn't even fight anyway. So a lot of people had a lot of reason to question Fury, you know. But as far as Anthony Joshua, you can say what you want about Anthony Joshua, right? Mr. M. Rashid. It's not about Tyson Fury. It's about both sides. Now, could Tyson Fury pull a Fury act? Shit, I certainly hope not. But I don't think he would go as far as do something like that now. And if he did, he would have to have another breakdown. You guys have to understand me. If Tyson Fury decided, yo, I'm not feeling right for whatever reason, he's gonna have to pull another. Um, hey, I'm having another breakdown. So, and for that reason, I'm going to have to bail. Something would have to happen to that along those lines, but I doubt it because it's hard for, well, shit, Ryan Garcia can do it, Tyson Fury can, but hey, that's one thing, but I doubt that Tyson Fury he's already made his stand. He said, I can't wait to smash Anthony Joshua. So, and then that's backed on something. It's not like, you know what I mean? Like, hey, stop talking, let's do something. You haven't signed the contract. Okay, well, he's got off the phone with the people that has the bread. Okay, now he says, I just got off the phone with him. Now, I don't know who called or who didn't call. I don't know that. The most important thing is somebody called somebody and let somebody know something. And that somebody that knows something is Tyson Fury, right? So Tyson Fury has got the green light. Tyson Fury has the green light because he's not going to do it for less money. See, this is Tyson Fury's money fight. This ain't Wilder. Wilder is that, hey, I can beat you even though I was 400 pounds, to, okay, now I'm going to smash you because I'm in shape. And he smashed him. They had like some sort of grudge match. And basically, that's how that went. I don't know what's going to happen Monday or Tuesday. Does he have to turn around and fight him after that? I'm not really sure if he does or not. But this fight, nothing should stop this fight because they've gone too far. So I don't see Tyson Fury going this far to turn around and go away. Now let's not jinx things, people. Hit the like button. Top ranking Matchroom getting this fight made makes PBC look very bad. Andil Shakat. Andil Shakat. No. Okay. Top Rank is not getting anything done. Bob Arum represents Top Rank. Top Rank did nothing. Top Rank received the work and the drafts and the contracts that they needed, or the drafts of the contracts from Matchroom. Matchroom did all the work. So it wasn't, see, that's what I don't want to hear because it wasn't ESPN. It wasn't BT. It was Matchroom. Eddie did this shit single-handedly and they sit back and watch. So I'd be damned. I want to hear somebody say, oh, well, I'm glad they were able to come together to make this fight. No, they did not come together to make anything. Okay? They did not do that at all. So I don't know. That's not what it is. This will be most epic. Smells like OTR. Absolutely. Any news on seeing capacity for this new stadium they're building in Saudi? Well, Roy, I can tell you this. I know the Joshua Ruiz was 14,000, right? So I'm thinking they're going to at least do or make it 20 to 25,000. But it's going to be it's going to be a limited crowd. That is what it's going to be. Fury will dominate early, then AJ will stop him in the ninth. Simon Calvert. That's an interesting theory. Let's hit that like button. I feel like AJ and Hearn want this fight, but Fury just going along with it. I just don't trust him at all. M. Rashid, no. First of all, Fury don't go along with anyone. He's not going to go along with shit. He's the resistance. You have to understand that. He is the resistance. He was the resistance. Let's put it that way. So he can't go along with something that he put up shit about. It doesn't make any sense. See, he's the troublesome. So you can't say, well, a guy, think about everything he said. Think about what his management said. Think about what his family said. Think about what everybody said contrary to what Eddie Hearn was saying. And then because people hate Eddie Hearn, the usual suspects, they hate Eddie Hearn, so they wanted to call Eddie Hearn a liar, like he wasn't doing everything he said he was going to do. And if he wasn't going to do everything he says he's going to do, it's going to make him look bad. It's going to make him look like a what? A liar. Okay, well, if he's such a liar, why is Canelo Alvarez with him? Canelo Alvarez just left a liar, someone that lied to him when they signed that big fucking deal where he had a secret clause that he had to fight Triple G for the third time. So you think someone like Canelo Alvarez, as prestigious as he is, okay, is going to deal with somebody that's going to lie? Eddie Hearn knew everything that he's saying, he has to back it up with action. If not, he's going to look like a liar. See, what the things that people call Eddie Hearn a liar on is something that they can't prove. They can never prove that Eddie Hearn didn't pay someone what he said he's going to pay them based on a contract, what they signed. For the show of hands, how many times have anybody heard anything about Eddie Hearn not paying them? Can someone tell me from just everyone on the chat right now, give me yes or no, did Eddie Hearn ever tell someone that he was going to pay him, sign a contract, and he didn't pay him? Okay, yes, someone tell me. I want to hear a yes and then explain it to me, please, because I can't wait to counterpunch this shit. Let's keep going. Let's get it. Yeah, what about the arbitration? I know, right? Okay, we got no. I mean, that's the thing. And then if you have to think about someone's reputation. A promoter is only good as his reputation until he gets old and don't give a shit, like Bob Arum, Don King, i.e. those guys. But when you're a young promoter, the guy like Eddie Hearn is in my age group. If you know you're on the top of your game, right? And you know that you have a reputation, why would you want to jeopardize that by doing something stupid? You got two of the highest paid fighters in the world. Okay, that's no lie. Eddie Hearn has them. I know people hate them. It's called envy because they don't have it and they want it. Okay, but besides that, besides the accomplishments of the man, all he has is his balls and his word, and you can't break him for nobody. That's Scarface, right? And Eddie Hearn's in that same position. So if he started lying, then people are going to look at him. Understand, let me counterpunch something to you guys. Why do you think Canelo Alvarez got with Eddie Hearn? How many times did Eddie Hearn work with Oscar De La Hoya when fighting against Canelo, promoting against Canelo? Not really promoting against him, but on the opposite promoting team, on the opposite side of Canelo. You think Canelo wasn't taking notes to see how this dude talked, how he walked, how he conducted himself, what he'd do for his fighters? You know what I mean? Hearing things on top of that, outside that, hey, what has he done? And Canelo was like, you know what? I like the way this guy is actually doing things. Think about it. Rocky Fielding, Danny Jacobs. Who else? Who else did he, wasn't Kovalev. Rocky Fielding, Danny Jacobs. What was the fight before that he fought? It wasn't Kovalev. It was somebody else. Yildirim. Okay, so you had Yildirim, Billy Joe. So before he signed with Eddie Hearn, he's been working with Eddie Hearn. Now, well, he didn't. You know, Canelo hasn't fought Andrade. Never man of his word, unlike Fury. How many fights he bounced on? AJ's uppercut. Well, hey, look. If Fury bounces out on this fight, okay, for just to say if he does, if he bounces out on this fight, it won't come back on Eddie and it won't come back on AJ. Now it would put them in a uncomfortable position, yeah, sure, but it will be all on him, and he's going to be looking like the one that is the ducker, you know. Fury does have concentration lapses in fights. When is he boxing well? And that's where AJ will get him. And don't forget, he is still one of the best finishers in the game. AJ will smash Tyson up. Rocky Dean Abdul Samatur. I just have to see it because I mean, you have to see how these guys will gel. People compare. They look at the Otto Vilene fight, and they look at that as a barometer. But you coming from a guy that's a southpaw, that's a little shorter, that's durable, that's workable. Because Otto Vilene was all that. Now Tyson Fury beat Otto Vilene. Okay, I'm not one of those guys. Tyson Fury beat him, but that fight should have been stopped. That cut was just way too bad. I mean, kudos for Tyson Fury for finishing that fight because that cut was enough. That cut was on that Vitalik Klitschko stage. You know what I'm saying? Like that fight should have been stopped. But they know they couldn't afford to do that because he was the premier guy with the money backing him. Anybody you're gonna pay 15,000 for a tune-up, or sorry, 15,000, Jesus, 15 million for, two tune-ups in 2019. You have to be. Look, you can't stop that. They've paid Tyson Fury too much money for him to lose, so they couldn't stop that fight with that cut. That wasn't going to happen. MTA 885 says AJ is a hype job. Hey, we will see. We will see. Counterpunch to you. Tim Foxworth, I'm looking forward to the Joe Joyce fight now as well. See, this is the beauty of it, people. Look, it frees everybody up. How so? Okay, it freezes Usyk. It freezes Joe Joyce up. They can get it on. It freezes Wilder so he can stop fixating on Tyson Fury like he's done for the last 2 fucking years. He can move on and fight one of these top other heavyweights, which would be fantastic, right? And he might get a little money on the side, so he might have a great happy ending or a great continuation with his new head coach, Malik Scott. Shouts out to those guys. Hashtag counterpunch to those guys. So that leaves the whole heavyweight division in forward motion. Okay? Let's get those likes up. Let's get those likes up. David Jones, how please explain? How please explain what? Do you think Canelo will have a go at a cruiserweight or not? I don't know if he'll go that high. You know what I mean? And if he is, he'll take the lighter touch of the cruiserweight division. In other words, he won't fight that big badass. Like he didn't fight Better Beeve or Bivol. He didn't fight those guys. He fought Rocky Fielding. He might fight Joe Smith or somebody like that, but understand, Joe Smith can punch, so he's dangerous. But Canelo's one hell of a guy. Just mind you, something about Canelo. You can see things coming with Canelo. He's been sparring a lot with Frank Sanchez, right? Frank Sanchez is a heavyweight. So he might go there, because if you can spar with heavyweights, chances are you can fight a heavyweight. You just got to be careful. He'll probably fight a cruiserweight, not a heavyweight. He'll probably fight a cruiserweight like he fought Golovkin the first time. You know what I mean? Punch, box, and move. Punch, box, and move. Circle the ring. Don't engage too much. Pick your shots. Don't get greedy. Those are the things that Canelo Alvarez can do to win a fight. But will he probably knock someone out? I don't know. Again, it would probably be a smaller touch down there, a lighter touch down there. Any chance that Boo Boo calling out Canelo at this fight will help him get the fight? Frank Torcios, yeah, actually it will, because a seed has been planted. You got Canelo's attention. Sure, he came out of his shell, but what have you made the poker face dude do? Break his poker face, right? So why not? That started a lot of shit. All Andrade has to do is keep winning. They got the same promoter. He just has to take his ass to work and get his numbers up. He can do that shit for free. Counterpunch. That's it. That's it, guys. Mr. Go Travel. Thank you, brother. You know, Joshua Lil John. Kurt, who would you want to see on the undercard of the undisputed fight? Well, see, the beautiful thing about that, Joshua, it could be anybody from Matchroom to ESPN, because it's a joint fight, right? It's a joint card. It's a joint network card. They could have, shit, you could have Lomachenko on there, right? You can have Lomachenko fighting somebody on there. You can have Efe Ajagba on there. He's now with ESPN. That could be like a feature undercard fight. You could have some Matchroom fighters. You could have some ESPN versus Matchroom. You could have a lot of fights, man, that they could mix it up, definitely. No, Charlo's with PBC, which yeah, I would like to see Efe Ajagba on the ESPN side fight whoever. You know, I would like to see him move up. You know what I mean? He could fight Daniel Dubois. But I think they're going to try to hold off on that fight to see what Daniel Dubois does after his first loss. See how he comes back. Never watch Andrade fight. Could he cause Alvarez more problems than Billy Joe? No. Ricky D, no. I mean, he's a mover. He's a southpaw. But he's no Edis Landilada. He doesn't have a great foundation under him. He's fast. He's quick. He's too overzealous when he throws punches. You know, you guys remember how Danny Jacobs swung so hard that he fell down, trying to hit Canelo, trying to knock Canelo out. He's like that. He's twice as worse as that. And then, you know, Danny Jacobs is really not known for a off-balance fighter, but Andrade will swing and fall. You know, he will swing and fall, definitely. David B, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Kelechi. So after the unification fight between Fury and Joshua, it's the undisputed fight. What's next? Does Wilder get his opportunity? Does Usyk get his shot at the fight to fight the winner, or does White get the look? I think who's first? I think the WBO's first, then the WBC, then back to the IBF. Because see, Joshua already had his mandatory, right? So he fulfilled that IBF obligation. So since he's done that, that's kind of resets, because then you have a voluntary, then another mandatory. Okay, so but the WBO, whoever wins out of Joyce and Usyk gets that shot, and that's the fight that has to happen. So let's say whoever wins, and it kind of scares me though to see who wins, because if Tyson Fury wins, which he always wins, you don't know if Tyson Fury will do that. Tyson Fury might not fight Usyk. He might not fight Joe Joyce. You know what I mean? I hope he does if he wins. I don't care who wins. I just want whoever becomes undisputed to treat it as though and respect it being an undisputed champion. And it scares me. I don't think Fury will necessarily do that, because he's a live wire. Fury is a live wire. Fury fuck around, beat Joshua, and retire again. Go public speaking and call everybody a Dulce. He'll do some Floyd Mayweather shit. He'll be in the WWF. He'll do this. He'll do some, he'll talk about, I'll beat everyone with one hand tied behind me back. Meanwhile, all the belts will either go back and people will fight for him and all that. And Tyson will still claim the lineal championship because he's got every single belt. But then at that point, could you deny him lineal champion? But he would be a guy that never defended anything. So he's got the WBC. But here's the thing: if he keeps the WBC, he's actually defended a title by beating Joshua. He just took all the rest of Joshua's belts in the meantime. So that would count as a challenge. But if he doesn't defend it, people will look at him and seeing he's doing the same pattern. And then people will be like, okay, well, what now with the sport? Does Tyson fight White? Because at that point, something would have to give. The WBC is coming. The mandatories are coming for those positions. The WBO been waiting, because that's why he's fighting Joe Joyce, which I think is shitty. That just makes Alexander Usyk fight someone else at heavyweight. He's already fought two guys. He already had the mandatory position when he got to heavyweight because of what he did at cruiserweight. So he's already done his just due at cruiserweight. So that was no reason for him to fight Joe Joyce just because Joe Joyce beat up a guy that been mopping guys and stopping guys in 1 or 2 rounds. And he's only had 15 fights. That's fact. That's why I didn't pick Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois is a good young heavyweight, a good prospect, good potential. But what does that really mean? He get in there with somebody that can jab and that can take a punch. Built like a shit brick house wall. And his name is Joe Joyce. And what happened? He fucking crumbled. No head movement. He got beat by a fucking jab. No one taught him, slip the jab, slip the jab, slip the jab. He had many opportunities to do that. He didn't know how to do that. No one taught him how to do that. Okay? The same people that were behind Daniel Dubois had the same mentality of the same people that were behind Deontay Wilder because they thought he didn't need to improve. He's just beating people. He's knocking people out. Just keep him doing what he's doing. He doesn't have to improve. He'll do the same thing to Joe Joyce. But did that happen? Hell to the no. Hades, no, it did not. Counterpunch. So, Robert Brown, Fury is a fraud. The man said he never had mental illness issues. So Fury literally quite 2 years because he was high off cocaine and peds. Robert Brown. That could have been the case. I hope it wasn't the case. I hope he had mental illness? But for the sake of integrity, because listen, there's people with mental illness that went to war, people that has done what they, defended their country, put in service that cost them their mental state. So it's not cool to be playing around with that shit. If he didn't do that and he just fucked off because he did get high off Nandrolone, him and his cousin, and then they paid some farmer to get that shit done, and then he started doing cocaine and he knew he wasn't going to fight Klitschko again, so he bailed and everything spiraled out of control and he just kind of lost it from one thing, fuck up to another, and then it's just mental illness. That would be bad. But can we prove that? No. So you see me preaching that? No. Why would I preach something? Do I want that to happen to Tyson? Did I want him to be a liar? No. That's why I don't sit back and preach to people on people's downfall or what I think or what I want to happen. See, Tyson Fury never did anything to me to have a hatred towards Tyson Fury. None of these guys are fucking perfect. They're gladiators, warriors, for Christ's sake. They're going to fuck up. Roy Jones Jr., Fernando Vargas, Evander Holyfield. All these guys tested positive for something once upon a time. We're not slandering them. But there's a certain group of channels that do slander fighters or particular fighters. Maybe they don't have the same complexion for the collection to collect good things about them. Maybe they don't have that. I don't know. But one thing I'm not going to do, I'm not going to talk about Tyson Fury. If he says he has mental illness, okay. It could be he could have lied. Sure, he could have lied. But am I going to preach that shit? No. Because I can't prove it. I don't know what's in that man's mind and heart. For all I know, Tyson Fury is a decent dude. Let me give you guys a story. And I'm going to tell you what caused me to stop judging people. Okay? I remember, because I've been watching boxing a long time. And I remember Richard Steele, he stopped the Mildred Taylor fight in Julio Cesar Chavez, the first fight. Had 3 seconds left in the 12th round. Julio Cesar Chavez dropped Mildred Taylor, and he hurt him bad. I mean, really bad. But Mildred Taylor got up, and Richard Steele stopped the fight with 3 seconds. People booed Richard Steele for the next 15 years, and I was one of them. And I was like, you low down, dirty, rotten son of a boop, 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 boop. Right? About 3 years ago, 2 years ago, I met Richard Steele. Richard Steele's he's no longer a referee. But I met him at a casino. And I never forget this. He was the nicest dude I ever wanted to meet. And when I met him, I liked him. And I immediately started to feel bad. Like, yo, I said a lot of bad stuff about this guy, and I shouldn't have said that. And it just made me realize, like, hey, don't talk smack about somebody you really don't know. So there you go. Kurt slandered Deontay Wilder's name for views. David 13 like. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. To counterpunch you, what have I said bad about Deontay Wilder that wasn't fucking true? You tell me that, David. I mean, see, like, David is a Wilder fan, and then see, here's the thing. It's not Wilder at all. I never met Deontay Wilder. I've met people close to him, and then the people that I met that are close to him, they talk to me, they know, well, he's a pretty cool dude. He's not what I thought he was at all. Nobody's what you think they are unless you, and when they're standing you in the face and you're talking to them, then you know, okay, you get a good feel of people. Now, you can criticize what a person does, okay, but at the end of the day, you know, who are they really? You know, like, yeah, it's some things I said about Wilder, some things I said about Fury, things I said about Joshua, Canelo, on down the line, that if you were a fanatic about these fighters, you don't like the idea of someone criticizing that fighter. And if I criticize that fighter, it's like, okay, whatever it is. Okay, you say you're too biased towards Joshua, Kurt. You are allowed, but you are Barry B. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. See, when Joshua does things, right? And there's a couple things I can remember that Joshua said, and I was like, oh, gotta counterpunch that shit. Gotta counterpunch that shit. Like he said, that was a punch from the gods bullshit. No, it wouldn't. No, sir. None of that. See, those things. But then the funny thing about it, you weren't there. You weren't there when the pro fanatic AJ fans were like, you're a fanatic, you're biased. But see, each is his own. No good nights. No, I went to a barber shop. Should have cut it myself. Kurt is a token, period. Okay. I don't know what the hell that means. Brittany Devine, this is a 50-50 fight. They both have the tools they need to beat each other. Anyone who says they know who will win is uninformed. Yeah, you don't know until they get there. Counterpunch to you, Brittany Devine. That's what I'm talking about. This fight is hard to call. I've noticed that Wilder's fans I can't stand more than Wilder himself. Yeah, I mean, it's the people that follow him. They're annoying. But, you know, I mean, he's not the only one that did that. David is really blue balls. So has the arbitration ruling been announced? Die Hard Knicks. No, it has not. And that proves it right there. Unless Tyson Fury knows something already on how they're going to rule. But if they haven't had an announcement yet, why would Tyson Fury then say it before? Maybe it was deliberate. Maybe it was deliberate. Maybe he did that because he wanted people to know, like, this is not contingent on what Wilder and what me and Wilder got on. Up until it's kind of weird to tell somebody you have to fight someone and they don't have a contract to fight them. So they're trying to figure out what the contract is or what they're going to do about the contract not being what it is. Named on Joshua's record compared to Fury's. Lucky. See, Counterpunch Boxing. Do not like Wilder. That's true facts. Who said I don't like Wilder? Kurt, who will be AJ's main sparring partner for the fight? Somebody tall. Like I don't know. They'll bring in some tall guys. It's kind of hard to emulate Fury, though, to be honest with you. That's one thing JD said right. It's kind of hard to emulate someone like him. Word on the street is that you better never come to a live Deontay Wilder fight, period. That sounds like somebody. But, word on the street. Well, I tell you what. When I come to a live event, because I've been to many live events, I haven't seen this happen yet. So, I'm better with promises than a threat. Tell me what you're going to do instead of what you heard somebody else is going to do. Gerard, what's up, Kurt? Can't wait for this one. And then, hey, David, I bet you're mad because this shit was announced, aren't you? Let's be real. Because you one of them ones, no, they need that first. Fake news token. Look at him. Word on the street. That shit. Yeah, he's mad. Mario, he's fucking pissed. He's mad as shit. So he comes over here trolling, saying, I don't like Wilder. See, for me to like this fight, for a fan fanatical about Wilder, that means I have to be against him because I'm glad this fight is happening. That's the type of mind he has. Well, you got to be over here because Tyson Fury has no business fighting anybody. Well, who the fuck has told Tyson Fury what to do in the last 5 to 6 years? See, people don't know Fury. Fury is just being Fury. He told you David was blue balls. I don't see blue blood saying anything like that. Honestly, don't. And he's came on live before with his thing, unless that was some troll. That would be bad to do that. Kurt, it's funny how Blue Blood talks so much smack about Canelo, but yet picks Canelo over Charlo and Andrade. Well, L Day, it's one of those things. It's you don't have to like a fighter to know a fighter's better. So he knows that, yeah, Canelo has better skills than those guys. Could those guys give him problems? Maybe. Maybe not. Does he want those guys to beat Canelo? More than likely he does. You have got a live on Kurt. A wildette. Yeah, he's a wildette. Kurt, you think if anyone can beat Fury, it'll be AJ? Well, he has the tools because he's working on different things. And see, the dangerous thing about Anthony Joshua, he's doing his homework. He actually studies on how do you beat certain fighters. He doesn't go in one fucking way all the time. Because when you do that, you become vulnerable. You become beatable. If you're a Deontay Wilder fan, surely you want this fight to go ahead. You want all the belts in one place. Well, I mean, that would make more sense, Blue Avenger. I mean, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it make more sense If I'm Wilder, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna beat the shit out of everybody else, and whoever has that belt, they're gonna have to see me because I got beat one time. In my mind, I got cheated. I don't give a shit what nobody says, but I'm beating everybody else's ass. You know what I'm saying? That's how Wilder probably thinks. He probably has to think that. Brittany, you know what? I did not see the fight. I was going to, and I had a late lunch, a late dinner, and I came home, went to sleep. That's what happened. What do you think about the announcement? They could have done a joint announcement or something. Doesn't seem fair that Fury did it. No, Raul. They look. Eddie Hearn's already done it on his side. He's been saying that shit's done. How many times Eddie Hearn said that shit's done? We just need to hear the shit's done on the other end. We got that today. So at least we're having corresponding things that are happening in between. So it's good. I just watched your last video, then saw you online. Mark Knight, counterpunch to you. Star Wars from Fans TV. Are you having another debate with Blue Blood? I certainly hope so. I certainly hope so. Diehard Knicks fan since I was swimming in the sack. I think if you're a Wilder fan, you'd want this fight and go to hope to get the winner. Absolutely. We need a backup fourth. Judge added that straight up Al, which has the power to take place of the one scorecard that makes no sense. No, this is not a Heineken Merley. This is a Sprite, a Mexican Sprite. See that? It's made with sugar cane instead of fructose corn syrup. Okay. He says Taylor beats Ramirez. I mean, he has his reasons. Styles make fights. The best fights can get beat by a fighter with a different style. Michael Rose. You're absolutely right. It just depends on how they link up. Dubois versus Ajagba, who wins? I don't know, Brandon. You know, and here's the thing. Right now, I'd have to give it to Ajagba because Ajagba, at least he knows how to throw a straight jab consistently. People call him Wilder 2.0 or whatever, but he knows how to box and he knows how to fight tall. He's a tall, what, 6'5", cat, 6'6", and he's strong as shit. And then if he starts landing with that right hand, he's gonna bust Mr. Dubois up if Mr. Dubois don't learn how to move his fucking head. You learn some defense, man. When you do that, you become one-dimensional. That's right. Fury eats wild boar meat. Yeah. You know that shit, you know that might be Aki, David 13 like. He sounds like Aki. Everybody's talking about Blue Blood. Blue Blood don't really talk like that. That shit sounds like, you know, the shitty part of the LDBC. The shitty part of the LDBC. Why Big Mouth Eddie Hearn Twitter account is not lit up? I mean, because he already said, hey, that's it. You brain dead puppets are desperate. David 13 like puppets, brain dead puppets. That shit sounds like that other shit you guys preach over there. Fake news. He is the absolute worst. He sounds like fucking David 13, because that's probably some chicken shit stuff that Aki would do. I mean, he never does anything like straight up. He likes people to call him so he can hang up on them. That's basically all he does. You know, he'll do something behind your back instead of like debate you. You know what I mean? You got to have balls to want to show your intellect of boxing to someone else looking you in the fucking face. So that's what that is. He says, word on the street is when you come to a fight, you're going to have a lot of shit brothers. Okay. Well, I would want you to show your face. And then I want you to tell me what the word on the street is. Like straight up. Sam Greer, Blue Blood is on the phone arguing with Wilder over the undisputed fight actually going ahead. Well, I mean, he's like an affiliate, I think. He said, is Ego new media or LDBC though? Well, LDBC and Ego are like it's the new media. They, the new media, they promote the new media. So they're pretty much in the same boat. And if they are in different boats, they go in the same fucking direction. Ozone, I don't know. I think personally, he doesn't like Anthony Joshua because he's not American. And then he pissed him off, This block button is fantastic. They finally figured out that Wilder ain't God, and now they're mad. It seems like that, don't it? Kurt, what do you do? What do you think of Bivol? I think Bivol's good. I think he's a very busy fighter. I do question his power, though. I do question his power because the punches that he's hitting certain fighters with now, he's not getting them out of there. Like Golovkin actually gets you out of there. He just beats the shit out of you. And he has hard, strong punches, and he follows everything really behind the jab, or he likes a nice little scrap. Wilder in here trolling under the username David13. I don't think that's Wilder either. See, you can tell a troll. Like, if you are like a real person, you don't talk like that. You don't make word on the street is you better not come somewhere. See, that's chicken shit already. Like, tell me, okay, if you come somewhere, I'm going to fuck you up. Say something like that. Say something what you're going to do, not word on the street. You know what I mean? Hating on black fighters is not intellectual boxing talk, Kurt. Hating on black fighters. Sad. Kurt, Benavidez, or Charlo's toughest for Canelo counterpunch? Well, by default, Jim, it has to be Charlo because he won't fight Benavidez. He says he won't fight another Mexican fighter, which I really don't understand that shit. That's kind of weird to me. Come on, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Bridger weight would be too easy of a division for Wilder. Well, he's really a Bridger weight, though, since they made the fucking weight. I mean, I'm totally against it because I just know why they made it. They made it for extra revenue for a sanctioning body. Hey, we need more money, so let's make another division. That's what they did. What does race have to do with who's better than boxing? Nothing. Well, that's the problem. You got people that watch LDBC channels all day and they think that's what it is because they want to believe that shit. Michael J. Kurt loves AJ. How is that him hating on black fighters? I mean, I like AJ. You know what I mean? Shit, but, I mean, for one, we don't have many. You got Crawford, Porter, Spence, Gervonta Tank Davis, Shakur Stevenson, Jamal, Kell Brook if he counts. right? Uh, Andrade, Jacobs, Broner. I mean, Boots Ennis. No, Mario Salazar. Ego's not a wannabe rapper. He's a wannabe actor. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's a wannabe actor, not a wannabe rapper. That's some shit he thinks he has another talent in. Weak people use the race card because that's all they got left. If they have that. Kurt, do you watch the YB? No, I don't. I don't. I hear some things people send to me and shit, and the dude's voice trips me out. That shit's hilarious. Whoa! Whoa! Something I don't. Hit that bell. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? I'm like Conor McGregor. Who the fuck is this guy? Wilder versus Dillian White. Okay, Dillian White, Wilder, Dubois, Joshua, Ajagba. I mean, sure, it's a couple more out there, but I mean, that's pretty much it. You got then Ortiz, Rigondeaux, Lara. You know they're black too, right? People fucking forget that. You know, there are black people from the Caribbean. Hello. Aquí estoy. You can't change a language and then change a whole fucking nationality. I mean, not nationality, but a race. Right? So, he says, this channel has the most dumbest fight fans. Yeah, David 13, and you're one of them. Because your dumb ass is on this channel. Giving it traffic. So congratulations. You dumb fuck. You're over here talking about how dumb people's fans are. You've been here like an hour. Talking about being... You see, these people have the dumbest fans. Bitch, you've been here for an hour. You're one of them. You know what I mean? You are one of them. So welcome. You're going to get slapped down. We ain't going to block you like those butthurt ass other channels. Like Aki and them fucking guys. Akaka TV. We ain't going to do that. No. Yeah, go watch Fanon. Go watch him have a fucking another breakdown. I mean, the dumbest shit. These are the dumbest people. You're here with fucking all 300 of us. Stupid, man. Motherfucker, yeah. Just fucking... No, stay. Because, I mean, you've been here forever. You're gonna ride us out. So just stay. Did you get hurt that bad? Did I hurt your feelings? You gonna call YouTube like your buddies did? Yeah. I don't like Counterpunch Boxing News. He is hurt. He's been hurt. He's been hurt since he came on here. He's been hurt. That motherfucker's hurt. He's hurting. He's mad because he thought one day Wilder was going to get the Wilder Fury 3. And then here's the thing. Are you sure Wilder's ready for that right now? Are you sure he's ready for that right now? Wilder needs more training. David 13 is a Sanders fanboy. Well, damn. That could have surprised me. But Ozone, it's Blue Blood's secret account. No. That ain't Blue Blood. I know Blue Blood Sports TV. He ain't gonna come on here pretending to be some fucking body else. That's one thing. One thing a person's not gonna do, you do block people and ghost comments. I do. When have I done that? Have I blocked you? I don't block anybody. Maybe somebody has blocked you that I didn't even see the comment. But have I blocked you? I would have blocked you already. Now, David 13, if I was like that other channel you like Boxing Ego, Akaka TV, DBN, if I was one of those guys, do you think you would have time to say all this shit you said? And I know you like it over here. I know you do. I know you do. That's why you're here. So just act right and get with the rest of us. Don't come over here talking shit because you like to be here. You're like one of them people that hangs around other people that talks about those people while you're around people. But you have nowhere to go. I have nowhere to go. Is with you a lot, but I don't hate you. I watch for the opposite perspective and then compare them. Black Cloud, that's how you're supposed to. That's what you're supposed to do. See, there's no hate. See, when you start hating, that means something else is going on with you. There's other things besides boxing you're worried about, like race, what you think a person likes because of what a person looks like, or where the fuck they're from, or this, that, or the other. So Black Cloud, no, I'm with you. I mean, we don't supposed to all agree like a fucking bunch of robots. An assembly line. We're not assembly line people. We all think different. David 13 is John Fury. Word on the street. That motherfucker's American. He's American. Ricardo G. What up, Kurt? Thirsty ass. Thirsty bro. From the Kalahari Desert for based peeps. Bars. Kind of punch to you, brother. Gary Burrow. Philip, Blue Blood Sports has good content also. Now see, that's what I'm talking about. So why does everything have to be negative? David 13 is for non. If David 13 is for non, I would be ashamed. You better not let me find out that's actually for non. That would be sad. It would be sad. Lee Hawkins, broke boy Kurt. Okay. You don't know me at all, Lee Hawkins. You really don't. You know nothing, Lee Hawkins. Is that Black Cloud from Boxing 24? Is the hate Wilder Joshua Fury gets? Believe it or not, there's people out there who are a fan of Wilder, Joshua, and Fury. Yeah, people, I don't know, maybe heavyweight boxing wouldn't be as bad if it wasn't for propaganda. Like shit was spread, like this time last year, shit was started spreading about Wilder, about Fury, and all this shit, and then people wanted to watch it because it got a big buzz. You got to think about it. Do you think Nicholas Asbury, when he was sparring Tyson Fury, do you think that was really big shit? It really wasn't. You know what I mean? Like, because Tyson Fury was using power lock gloves and they were worn out gloves. And he said that there was an instrument in the gloves. He said that shit. But I mean, did anybody care in 2019? People heard it, but nobody really gave a fuck until he fucked around and beat someone that everybody was flocking after. He beat Wilder, and then they tried to connect the dots. Like, oh, well, that's it. He did cheat this sparring guy that, that he had sparring for him. He took the horsehair out. First of all, let me give you guys a cheat sheet. Everlast power gloves, okay? Those power lock gloves that Tyson Fury was using, the ones that he was filming, okay? They weren't fucking horsehair. And they're notorious for wearing out. They're notorious for that. Look that shit up. Okay, so before anybody sits, oh, no. But then everybody was sitting around because of COVID. Nobody was really doing shit. I mean, what are you really going to do? Gossip. I mean, we had to have something to talk about. People weren't fighting. No boxing was happening. So, I mean, people told stories and ran with fucking bullshit. You know what I mean? Coonlex or Goons. AJ recommended this channel to me. Well, good. Welcome, brother. I hope you like what you see. Definitely. Counterpunch to you. And counterpunch to AJ. Brittany Divine, I'm just glad the fight is coming. Ain't nobody spoiling my mood. Counterpunch to you. Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Come on in, man. What's up, buddy? I'm just like wrapping up a live stream.
Oh, you just did?
Yeah, I'm wrapping one up now.
Oh, okay.
Usyk versus Joyce. Usyk. Dennis Cross. Big Red Gun. Let's see. Good to see you in the war room today, Kurt. Hell yeah. The shit gets real. But yeah, I just had my main man, IOTBA. He just came in. We're going to chop it up. But guys, it's been fun. I gave you guys an hour. We will recap on another platform tomorrow. Same place, maybe the same time. Everybody on the chat, you guys have been Counterpunch, Brittany Divine, Red Dead, Fung 19, Philip, Black Cloud. Everybody, be safe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.
Man, you got your